Hello, my name is Linda, also known as Tortagialla around the internet. I love creative journaling and all things stationery. And today I wanted to show you a flip through of my Messy May pages. Basically, Messy May is a month of art journaling prompts and challenges hosted by Get Messy Art Journal. And they do this every year, and it's really like an amazing opportunity to really learn more about art journaling and just creating in your journal in general. You get to see daily videos to sort of give you a little inspiration and to create in your journals. And I usually join in on the challenge and simply do the daily pages in whatever sort of daily journal I'm working in. And this year I am in the Moleskin Daily 18-month daily journal. So for my May pages, I have basically just follow along the prompts for Messy May. So you can see here the very first thing that I added in was actually a print out of the Messy May prompts, and I put this obviously before the May pages started. So here I have a collage using papers from Johanna Klau, I believe, if that's how you pronounce it, but she's on YouTube, pretty popular because she makes a lot of like sort of junk journaling and scrapbooking and journaling. So I bought her papers from her Etsy shop and I've been using them. So the background here is all of her papers. Then I've just printed out the Messy May prompts from Get Messy Art Journal and added it here as like an opening for this whole month. And then I just have some stickers from my stash. And for the very first page, the prompt is prologue. And so following with Kaylee, who is the like CEO of Get Messy Art Journal, she usually likes to start off her journals with sort of like a picture of herself and like introducing oneself like in the journal itself. So I have a quick like snapshot of me here and a little message that I got. This is like a screenshot from Instagram that says, I heard a message this morning that said, you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore to decide to be happy. And it's from Your Mental Health is a Priority account. So I just thought that was really, it really resonated with me and I wanted to include that in here. And I just have some like messy writing to make the background. So this very first page is amazingly simple, but the idea really, as I've always talked about, I think, on my other journal flip videos and things, is that even if it's just a few minutes a day of playing with paper, doing some kind of art journaling or creative journaling or long form writing or whatever it is that you're inclined to do, it will help you greatly. And again, it's all about the process. And of course, we all want to have beautiful pages at the end of the day, but at the same time, the process itself of just doing is what is really important and what will benefit like your mental health. And if you go into the research and things like that, there's so many studies and things that show you that just handwriting itself can really boost your mental health, and any kind of this type of creative work and play is just really good for you. So that is the first page, and the second prompt is nourish. So I have here another sort of collage page using pattern papers, and then up in the corner here I have washi tapes and a sticker, and I also stamped this area here to sort of fill it up because it looked like it was blank, but I really just have a little note here that I ripped off from like a planner page, and it just says, rain or shine, make the choice to nourish your creative soul by creating freely. It is the process, not the result, that matters. So like very much this whole idea is like on my mind, and that's what's been occupying my mental space in trying to help myself and doing this whole month-long challenge. The third prompt was enchanted. So you can see here I used like this sort of map paper that I had lying around in my stash, and then I have this bottle sticker where I sort of trapped some like pink blooms in the middle and a glittery heart, and just have enchanted. And you know, obviously, like I follow the prompts as a jumping off point, but obviously there is no like right or wrong way to do it. And sometimes I just let myself play around with materials and create whatever I create. It doesn't always necessarily have like insane deep meaning, you know, like it's just creative play. The next prompt is blooming, and so I probably didn't have a lot of time on this day, so I just found this design that I made a while back in my stash. It's like a flowery pattern, but it's printed on canvas paper because I was testing printing on different materials, and so I just stuck that in there and counted that as my creative, you know, bit, like creative, you know, 30 seconds for the day for blooming. And for the fifth, the prompt word was marks. And so you can see here, I literally was just making marks with colored pencils and inks and like whatever I had on my desk, because actually I should note that I made marks with my baby because obviously I have a very less than 2-year-old right now. So I was just making marks with her and she was helping me scribble and things like that. So that was like what I did for the day. But this pink that you see in the background is actually from the next page. So the next page, the prompt was backgrounds. So I used like ink to make that pink background, but obviously this is just moleskin paper, so it just bled through. But on this sixth day for backgrounds, I made that background and then I just plastered a bunch of like papers and stickers, thinking about traveling and things like that, and just did like a themed sort of sticker page. And again, it's just like playing around, right? Having fun and decorating my page. And for 7, the prompt was moments, and I did follow along, I believe, the video that Get Messy had released. Like they basically featured a different artist each day that would like do their sort of tutorial or their inspiring idea. And so I followed along and have these like moments written out for each little dot. And then it's just like, you know, washi tape and stuff. Number 8 is rays. So I used my sun sticker here, drew some rays, wrote some things, and like, again, more ephemera of like stamps that I got and stickers, and just decorated up the page. For number 9, the prompt was open. So I actually made this little like door thingy that opens up, and that was sort of like how the prompt prompted me. And again, this inside here is a screenshot from an Instagram post from let'slassofthemoon.com, and it says, "Don't wait for things to get better. Life will always be complicated. Learn to be happy right now, otherwise you'll run out of time." And so I have this little prompt here that says listen and just writing. And I guess you could say that I very much have a theme in all of these pages on what's been on my mind, you know, my state of mind and emotions and things. For May 10th, the word was reflect. So I just have used my papers that I've designed and wrote some words here. When we give ourselves grace, how much is enough and how much is too much? And just have that, you know, collage there. And also for day 11 is the same, where it's just a bunch of collage thingy tidbits from my stash. The prompt was curiosity, so it was just like follow your curiosity and see what comes out of it. So this is like, these are elements and pictures and things and stickers, elements that were just in my little drawer of like things I would like to use at some point. And this actually flips open, and here I wrote, be more free, create with curiosity. But yeah, papers from my stash, tidbits, things like that. And for day 12, it's just drawing, and I think I followed the prompt video for that day. So it was very simple. The prompt itself, the word was uncover, and it was just about like uncovering, I guess, your creativity and things like that and what you can do. And I was just using a pen and doing like some free form, like messy line marks, and then just trying to create a little pattern in a corner, and that's it. For May 13th, the word was gathering, and for some reason I wanted to, it just came to me. Like sometimes I just think of something and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna follow it because I have limited time usually. So I just let myself free and let myself do whatever. And I had just wanted to use pattern papers to make like this sort of window shape, and then I used a sticker and wrote home sweet home. There's some twine for like supposedly the curtains kind of thing, and yeah, just sort of like creating a picture with pattern papers. For 14, the prompt was shadow, and so I just used a marker and literally made like this whole like shadowy shape, really messy, really crazy, and it's because everybody was talking about Bridgerton and all that kind of stuff, so it was on my mind. For May 15th, it's botanical, and I had this pressed flower laminated, so I used some pattern papers for decoration and just sort of stuck this in, and I really like how it has this the texture and of this like disc bound punch. I just sort of like it, I don't know why. So that was for 15, and for 16 the prompt was now, and so again I'm using pattern papers to create sort of like a background, but I just stuck in actually this little tidbit from like a pocket notebook of mine that has these drawings that my daughter made me, so I just stuck that in there. And for 17, the word was vintage, so I started putting like these vintage book pages in, because that was the beginning of the prompt, but then I just ended up putting in this partial postcard, and it's from Brandy Kincaid. You are so loved as you are and as you will be. For May 18th, the prompt was serendipity, and I actually pulled out some gouache paints and just smushed around some color, and I guess I could have gone further to, you know, draw or something over it, but that was all I could do for that day, so that was that. For May 19th, the prompt was roots, and I don't know if I necessarily was that inspired by the prompt like literally or anything, but I just ended up doing this like window sort of page using the pattern papers that I had, and created this little collage sort of framed window kind of composition with tidbits that I have on my desk. I always have all kinds of like ephemera and papers on my desk, so and then there's a sticker that says, when it's hard to find kindness, I will make it myself. And for May 20th, because this is the other side of this page, so it already had this white frame from the cutout that I did. So I used some washi tape to make another like frame, and I stuck a sticker like pet tape here, and then there's all these little punched out rectangles, and I recently just got this rectangle punch because I don't know, I'm semi obsessed, I guess. I think it's so interesting. I like to collect ephemera and things, but it's not always possible to like use them all, and I somehow just got this urge to be like, if I have a punched shape, I could punch out just a little tiny rectangle of all these ephemera bits, and so it still is like a memory, a documentation, but it's like tiny and obviously can fit easier than necessarily including, you know, whole pages of ephemera. So I just created this like grid collage, and the prompt was actually, the word was bold, so I don't know if it necessarily connects, but it was just sort of like framing this one thing in the middle, so it's like showing boldly, but I think I sort of like flip-flop these days, where the next day the prompt was location, so it was really about, I was thinking about like ephemera and how it's from different places, and then on the next page 21, I wrote like boldly free, because it was just like watercoloring, like smushing around, and you know, it looks like a bold piece on this white paper. Yeah. And then for the next day, for 22, the prompt is home, and I just sort of did like another collage page using pattern papers to make a little house, and a little heart sticker. And I sort of wrote like home is where the heart is, but like in multiple colors because I had the multi pen with me, and just wrote it again and again and again in the background to sort of make like a pattern background, but that says home. So I'm not totally following what was in the video from Get Messy, but like sort of. If you watch the video, then you'll know what I mean. For May 23rd, the prompt was emotions, and I decided to just grab my fountain pen and like write out long form just some thoughts I had on emotions. But then I collaged over the middle using some ephemera bits that I had, and this little window cutout I just thought was very fitting because it's sort of like a window to your emotions. And this is from a journaling page from Erin Ware. She's an artist, and you can find her stuff on Etsy. For May 24th, the word was experiment, so I just grabbed a bunch of random things and smushed them together. And this word in glitter, wonder, was actually from an old journal page that I like, upcycled and ripped apart. So just combining a bunch of old things and ephemera and all kinds of stuff and seeing how it ends up. And that was, my experiment. And for 25 was metamorphosis, and I followed the Get Messy video that was using ink on a page where you would fold it in half and sort of get like the mirror image, but I think I used too much ink, so it went like crazy. It's supposed to be a butterfly, but I just let it dry, and then I put this sort of glassine paper on top because I was afraid it was going to bleed over to this side, so I just covered it up in that way. And then for 26, the word is dreamy, so I used a bunch of papers from my stash that sort of fit in with that, feel of being dreamy, sort of pastel colors and like, soft, and just made a little collage, nothing, crazy. And on 27, the prompt was type. So I just use my alphabet stamps to stamp out focus on love, like super, super quick and easy and fast, because sometimes you just don't have the time to do like lots of things. Like sometimes the prompts from Get Messy, they will be showing you how to do things with paint and things like that, and I can't always pull out like paints and like set it all up and have time to do that kind of thing that requires just a little bit more effort, like more time, more drying time and all kinds of things. So I just make do with what I have and do what I can. So that was for type for 27, and then the 28th it was affirmation. And I don't know, I wanted to write out like affirmations, but then I was really tired that day, and it was my daughter's birthday, and there was just lots of things to do, and I just decided to create a sticker page, and that's it. For the 29th, same thing. There was just so much going on, so much to prepare for. The prompt was monoprint, so I really just went into my stash of memo sheets, and I was like, this sort of looks like a monoprint, and it just looks cool. So I just put these memo sheets together like in a very simple collage, and that's it. For the 30th, the prompt was stitching, and so I did get this these papers from my stash and this string that I had in my stash, and just decided to stitch it together to create this cool effect and texture for my page. And then I have this printable journaling card here where I wrote it's okay to feel it all and cry, and just have some stickers that I got from some Happy Mail, and just put that together as like a mini collage. And the final day, the word was phoenix, and I just had in my mind like sort of a drawing of a phoenix, which this is my very bad brush drawing of a phoenix, and I wrote Phoenix Rising, and then I did pull out my paints and just did like one giant swirl of red, and like I called it done, because that's just the impulse that I had at the moment, and I let myself follow that impulse. And so these are my pages for Messy May, and I know that some days it was very minimal, and I didn't do much, but some days, you know, I did more because I had more time. But really, the important thing to realize is that it is totally possible to have like a sort of consistent art journaling type of habit. It really just depends on if you sort of set yourself up for success. Like if you have space, you can leave your journal out in the open and then just go to it when you have those few minutes and let yourself have some creative fun. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my little flip through. I just wanted to share since all the pages are completed for the month. And that's it. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Thank you for watching as always. And by the way, if you love journaling and if you love digital printables, I am a graphic designer. I'm building my community on Ko-fi. You can check out the link in the description below to find out more. But basically, if you join as a member, you get all the digital printables that I've posted for download on the Ko-fi feed. And of course, I also have a blog with totally free printables at tortagialla.com. You can go there and download some pattern papers and try it out in your next journal page. Thanks so much for watching and supporting me here. And until next time, bye.